And we're back. I have a somewhat better voice today, not that great still. I just wanted to send a thank you to everybody who suffered through my coughing spells on the last show. That was just, I was, oof. You just don't know. I guys just let you know. I gave up on my little home remedies. I took my happy black ass to the doctor on Friday morning and got some antiviral pills called Tamiflu. He said I had a massive virus infection, and it wasn't. It's not the flu because I didn't have the nausea and vomiting and diarrhea and all that stuff that comes with the flu. I didn't have all that, and my fever was coming and going. So it was really weird. So he felt that that's what it was, a virus, and so I got this stuff, and honey, it has changed my world. I just want you to know this stuff is the bomb. So yes, I am feeling better. I feel like, there's like sunlight at the horizon now. Even notice my voice even sounds clearer. It's not as congested, and so it's only my second day of it. So this is working out really well. I was like, "Oh my God, I got a good doctor for a change." 'Cause go to Kaiser, you just never know what you're going to get. So yeah, so today is kind of a surprise thing, last minute, of course. This show is based on advice suggestion that came in from one of the one of the channel visitors. And she submitted it as an advice question, but I felt like even though it was a valid, the issue is valid, it was just too much to do on What the Fuck Tuesday. It just would have been like the whole show. So what I decided to do was to make it a separate show and amplify the few things I was going to mention, and came up with a list of 25. I'm sure if I had kept going, I could have come up with even more. But I wanted to stop there so it would be somewhat manageable. And you guys, you've been stuffy since October? Damn, girlfriend. That's harsh. That's really harsh. Um, Eesh. I'm glad that ain't me. Um, so one of the things, since I have been feeling really bad, I did something I usually don't do, which is kind of more a script to follow because I didn't know, how I was going to be feeling and what my mental state was going to be. So I put some points, bullet points of what I want to talk about to make sure I stay on track and give you guys a good show. So what the first point I want to make is that when a breakup occurs, for some reason, women want the dude to tell them why. There's a lot of, if you look under the ghosting video on this, where I talk about why people ghost, there's a lot of women, at least a few, who were upset about it. And they were like, well, that's just childish. And that's, they just cowards and they're this and that. They had all these negative labels to say about it, but the part that they're angry because they wouldn't be getting what they wanted, which is for someone to tell them with words that is over. And I always tell women, I mean, in every single situation, men speak with actions. So no matter what's coming out of his mouth, if his actions aren't matching up, then pay attention to what he does. Just ignore what he's saying if the two don't match. Now, if they match, then that's great. If they don't, though, pay attention to what he's doing, which is showing how he really feels versus what he says he feels. You got me? So when you have a situation like that, um, they're upset that the guy doesn't give them what they want out of the deal. I guess they're looking for closure or something. I don't know. Then, they want to start hurling labels and all this stuff. And the part that you ladies must accept is you can do all that till your lips fall off, your skin color turns blue from lack of oxygen. I mean, till you old and wrinkly and 98 years old in the graveyard somewhere. It's not going to matter to the person who's ghosting you what you feel because they don't give a shit about you. And that's the part that they just couldn't seem to grasp. They wanted all this connection and, these notifications and conversations and communications about a breakup. And when someone is sick of your ass or they just don't want you no more, they bored with you, they found somebody else they like better, whatever is the reason, they don't owe you shit. I mean, unless you've been married to him or something. I mean, then you usually have an idea why you're splitting up. But you just date somebody for a couple of months and then they go on their merry way. They don't owe you any explanation about that. Excuse me. Uh, yeah, they do play mind games. Of what I'm going to show, what you're going to think it's a mind game. But what they're really doing is trying to set things up so that you see what's going on, you have a clue, you woman up, and you end things. Now that's how they like to do it, because in that way, two things, it sets up a dynamic of two ways is to their benefit. Number one, they don't have to be the bad guy. They don't feel like they're the bad guy, even though they've been acting a zip damn fool all the way up to the point where you say that's enough. But they see in their mind that doesn't count. That's because all that counts is the actual breakup, but not what they did to lead you to break up with them. Oh, they don't pay no attention to that. Okay, and the second thing is, if you break up with him, then he feels like the door is always open for him to come beg his way back, saying, you didn't give me another chance, blah, blah, blah. You see that? It's a very strategic move on their part when they do it that way. So, really, but what you have to do, ladies, is do what I told you. Set your boundaries, right? If he's not giving you the kind of relationship that you want, what do? You get rid of him. Okay, you get rid of him. No explanations needed. You feel free to ghost him if you want to. Tell him if you please. I mean, it don't really matter as long as he's gone. And it's a very it's very easy once you know what it is that you want and what you have your boundaries in place for what you will and will not accept from a guy. The stuff that I'm going to be telling you that they do, you will recognize it right away and you can take action right away. Okay, you won't be crying and whining and talking about, well, what's the matter? Things are so different lately. Why don't you talk to me? It's not like it used to be. You'll know all of those, the answers to those questions, and you'll know what's going on, and you can take charge and handle your shit like a G. Okay? That shit you used to do, yeah, me too, Tiana. That's why I identify with men so well, because everything that they do, I did it too, except anything that involves a dick. I did. That's the only thing that they have, that they do that I don't. With in relationships, I was just a terrible person. Oh yeah, first I want to show you guys a present I got. I was gonna use this to blow my nose on it, but I said, oh, they might not want to see me blow my nose on camera, but I'm still going to show you what I got. This, my darlings, is a roll of toilet tissue, and look at whose face is on there. So basically what you get to do is wipe your ass on Donald Trump's face. I cannot imagine a better present for me. This is the bomb right here. Okay, so I was gonna blow my nose on it, wipe my ass on it, just do a whole bunch of things. The roll's not that big, as you see, it's not that big, but I'm gonna take full use of this, make full use of this as long as I can. Yeah, I sound a lot better. I'm sneezing now instead of coughing so much. I don't know, it's like it went into my nose or something. I don't know what this is, but it's just like all over the place, changing, doing whatever it wants. Isn't that an awesome present? I thought, oh my God, this is so me. So me. All right, now, so let's get started. Okay, so I talked about how you don't waste time looking for the words. Okay. Now, the most common way that they indicate that they want to break up is they start acting up. Now that's a big umbrella for the 25 points I'm going to bring up in a minute. They may do some very disrespectful things, like damage your property. You find some woman up in your house or on your phone, if you have a house phone. They got riding some bitch around in your car. They're cheating. They acting angry. Get real angry about nothing. I mean, because they trying to get out the house and stuff. So see, a lot of these things cross over into him cheating and wanting to make excuses to create space between you two so he can cheat. But the bottom line is, once he does that, what does that mean? That means he's not giving you the relationship that you want. So we're right back to square one. So women, you guys want to break each one of these little things down into all these microscopic points, but there's only one. You're not giving me what I want, so you gotta go. That's it. That's the only issue at stake, the only thing on the table. So Okay, now then there are some valid reasons, the guy might want to break up. There's valid ones. I mean, maybe you guys been dating for a while and he works for some, I don't know, just say Bechtel. Now they send engineers and people, workers, construction teams and stuff all over the world. Okay, so now here you are in Minneapolis, and dude's getting ready to go to Timbuktu and work there for 2 years, building roads and putting in the infrastructure and stuff. Okay, well, he might not want to continue a long distance relationship since he know he's gonna be back once a year, if that, and so you two break up. It's a matter of, that's what it is. Or you're really young and you in high school still, and he's headed off to college, and he don't want to be in no situation with no high school girl when he get ready to be with all them co-eds that he can fuck like a fool. Okay, he's gonna break up with you. That's just it. Or maybe if the people are older, he's got a situation that has arisen where he's got to leave the state, go to the other side of the country, another country maybe, to take care of aging parents. I knew a couple that happened to. He grew up in Italy, and his parents owned this like ranch thing up in the mountains, and it was just the two of them, after he and his siblings left home. So when his dad died, he and his wife and his daughter went and stayed in Italy with the mom for a year to get, everything, all the legal work done. I mean, she needed some company, she needed help grieving and all that stuff. Now if he had not been married and just had a girlfriend, what do you think would happen? They would have broke up. So stuff like that. I mean, life happens. You know what I mean? Or there might be some really valid reasons for you two to break up that you didn't anticipate, and neither did he. So we're not really talking about those. We're talking about situations where they're acting in a way that makes you know that the relationship is on rocky ground and shaky legs. Now let me tell you about some shit I heard today. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm laying in bed, right, coughing, blowing my nose, and feeling sorry for myself. And so I'm scrolling on my phone, and I don't even know how I got at this page. Some page from the UK, a bride, they had been married for a little while, and she was talking about um, her husband and her are about to get a divorce because they battling about the baby's name that she hasn't even had yet. She's it's like 7 months pregnant or something, and so she was posting that her husband had a woman that he used to be in love with. Now, remember the video I talked about how men never forget their first love? This is a perfect example. So he tells her how he used to love this woman and this and that and blah blah blah, and the wife who was writing the letter says that this chick gave them a lot of trouble in their relationship when they first got married, but that she had moved to the other side of the country, and so then the problems went with her. So she thought that was the end of it, but here come her husband. Well, so let's just say the girl's name is, I don't know, Latrice. So the wife's pregnant, so they find out that they're having a little girl. The husband want to name the baby Latrice after his ex-girlfriend. Are you fucking kidding me right now? So the wife was all in an uproar, and she like, he won't let go. And he kept saying stuff like, well, um, I can't be with her, and so that didn't work out. So I'm gonna name my daughter after her, so that I can still have someone to call Latrice, and who'll be in my life for the rest of my life. And the wife was like, we might get a divorce. I think, girl, please, you should have been filed for one. Hey, the man is straight telling you he's not concerned about what you want or not, and you the one carrying and gonna be going through the labor for that child. Now, see, here in California, the only person who gets to name the baby is the mother. Whatever the mama wants the baby's name is, that's what goes on the birth certificate. The father does not get a choice here, not here, unless she gives him one. Now, if they have a disagreement, see, she could have just said, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when they brought that birth certificate in for her to sign, then she put the name on there and sign it. And then he could sign it or not if he wants, whatever. But yeah, I'm telling you, how you going to do that? How you going to try to name your daughter that your wife has? She's birthing, she going to go through all the labor pains and all the after care needs and all the stuff of having a baby, because it's not like you just hop up and you just right back to normal. I mean, it takes weeks, for some women months if they had to have a C-section. So, she going through all of this to have your baby, and you gonna slap her in the face and tell her she can't name her own baby. She have to pick the name of some other bitch that you used to be with. See, oh no, that would be instant divorce. So see, that's something that wasn't, I couldn't even conceive of anything like that. I was sitting there in bed reading that shit like this. Because men always coming up with some new fuckery, some new unbelievable fuckery. And it's like, who does that? It's so disrespectful. Yeah, he crazy. He is crazy. Who does that? But the wife is so upset, so she wants to get a divorce. And I'm like, you should, as soon as he start talking that shit, you should have been at the nearest attorney's office saying, my husband is an idiot, and I just hate that I'm pregnant by him. If it wasn't so long, far along in the pregnancy, I wouldn't have it. But it's too late now. But he got to go. The baby can stay. He got to go. I mean, okay, so let's talk about some of the more typical things that men do. That was so far off in left field, it was unbelievable. Okay, number one, women are very intuitive, so if you're getting a feeling that he wants to break up and your spidey senses start tingling and you noticing some shit is just not, you can't quite put your finger on it sometimes, but something's off. He looks at you different. Something about the way he walks. It's something we just pick up on it. We might not know exactly what the problem is, but we know that something is wrong. Okay. Usually you can tell that he's, unhappy because before when he was Mr. Smiley, now he's not so Mr. Smiley anymore. He's always morose and grumpy and stuff. And, it's just different. The way it acts with you is different. Now, if this is the first problem, this is the first stage. So if you have good communication with your dude, now would be the time to sit down with him and say, I noticed something's really, something's different. What's going on? What is, what's happening here? We need to talk this out. And then you don't give up until he discusses it. And then there's a possibility that the relationship could be saved if this is all that's wrong. Okay, your spidey senses. Okay, now, then we get into deeper stuff. Point two, everything has a higher priority, and that includes everybody. They're more important to him than you. Now, what does that mean? That means that you're not really on his mind much. Your needs, your wants, your thoughts. He just, I don't know. He doesn't think about doing nice things for you. It's like your birthday. He don't really think about it. It's Valentine's Day. He don't give a fuck. It's Christmas. Oh, well, what about it? He get a present for other people, but not for you. Or like the letter we got from the girl the other day. Her boyfriend got himself an Apple Watch and didn't get her anything, So, I don't know. And then sometimes you have a thing where, he might have some other like obscure family members. Like I dated a guy for a while. He had a nephew that, he would always use the nephew. Well, not always, but he would use the nephew a couple of times as an excuse for why we couldn't get together. So I just got rid of him. It's like, your nephew got a daddy. And I just knew what that meant. It was just, we had some good times and that was going to be the end of it. And so that was that. All right, number three. Yeah. Number three is he's looking different. He starts dressing different. He may change his diet suddenly or his clothes. The way he dressed like before, dude would like pick up a dirty shirt off the floor and put it on with some jeans he'd been wearing for a week. And to him, that was a great outfit. Now, all of a sudden, he got to wear Sean John and he got some three-piece suits and shit. It's like, wait a minute, what's up with you? He changed, he got a little goatee thing working. He got his hair done different. He just looking mighty sharp, mighty clean. And it's like, oh, what's this all about? Or suddenly he decides he's going to be in the gym every day. And, so he's gone for long hours. Or you may know somebody, I know somebody who had a husband who used to go on fishing trips. Well, you know how you dress when you go fishing. But suddenly he's going fishing and he would take a shower and put on his cologne and just, So she was telling me about it. I was like, oh, that he got a bitch. He's not going fishing. If you go fishing, you dress it. Because in my family, we went fishing as a kid. You wear your oldest shoes because you're going to be around mud and water and rocks and stuff. And, you dress warm because you're going to be on the water. And then, but it's like your scrungy clothes. You don't be looking all sharp to go fishing. But she never had gone fishing, so she didn't know. And I'm like, girl, no, he tripping. Okay. Number four, you notice a drop-off in affection in and out of bed, and your sex life is like taking a hit. Now, in some people, it's just the frequency drops way down. In others, they don't have it at all. Suddenly, he just not interested. He's too tired and all this kind of stuff. All the stuff that he used to do, you know, the snuggling, the hand holding, the kissing, the wrapping his arms around you as you walk together, the little pats on the butt and telling you and your whispering in your ear how fine you are and stuff. All that shit drops off. He stops doing that. And of course you notice. And of course he's going to deny it. He might be doing it intermittently, but it's not like it was before. It's like he just couldn't keep his hands off of you. But now all of a sudden it's like, you got to practically ask him for some time and attention and affection. It's like, yeah. Ooh, excuse me. That's what they say. I switched from coughing to sneezing. I don't know what's up with this. You noticed, the sweet text he used to send you and the snuggling in bed and all that. Excuse me. Ugh. All that's gone. All right. So then number 5. He's spending more time with his female friends than with you. Now, there's a difference because, people are like, well, what about when people, have had a friend since like diapers in childhood or grade school or something like that, and they want to spend time with them? That's fine because most likely that person, they know you, they come to the house, it's not a problem. It's when that relationship or any other relationship with his new female friends, because see, that's when some shit becomes a question mark. If he's had a friend since he was in diapers, that's more like a sister. You got somebody who's because they know each other's family stuff, he's not going to be tripping with her because they would jam his ass up. But the problem is when your guy gets these new female friends from work and stuff like that, typically, or his bowling league and stuff, and then he suddenly want to start talking to them a lot and texting them and being on social media with them and all this stuff, and then you wondering, what's going on, and he starts turning down time to spend with you to be with them. Okay, so now you got a changing dynamic in your relationship, and we had a letter somewhat like that a couple of weeks ago, and the woman was all upset about the female friend, but I'm like, don't be upset about her. It's your dude who's making this choice and putting you in the back shelf and, choosing to spend time with her and be all up in her face. And this was a coworker. I think, didn't he buy her some underwear or something and put a picture of her cat on it, as I recall? And she was all upset about the girl. I'm like, don't be mad at her. She got a boyfriend. She's not tripping with your dude. That's your dude tripping with her. So, when they get like that and they start making other people a priority, especially other women, then you need to understand what that means. You're not his number one chick anymore. And if you're not happy with being number 2, 5, 7, 11, whatever, then you know what time it is, and that's what it's time to move on from him. It's especially bad when they start wanting to send, wanting the women that he's supposed to be, quote, friends with, to send him sexting pictures of their boobs and all this stuff, or he's sending them dick pics. When you got a situation like that, you need to pack it up and just get on out. Get on out, because that's over. All right. Oh, okay. Number 6. He always has excuses. Usually they're valid, or at least they sound valid, so where you can't really push too hard against them, not to be with you. So I call these semi-valid excuses. Oh, well, I have to work late. Oh, I have to work on the weekend. You don't know if it's true or not. But, it sounds good, right? It sounds like it's bad. I mean, it could be true. That's why I call those semi-valid. And then he'll postpone dates with you or not make dates at all or cancel at the last minute because this thing came up, right? This thing that he just can't get out of. His mother, something about his mama or something like that. I don't know. It's just a wide variety of things, but it's usually like a stumbling, like a roadblock that you can't really push past because of the possibility that it is true. So it creates this very weird dynamic, but he keeps putting it up there as a reason for why he can't get with you, and you really are in a position where you can't really say anything. So what you have to do is, once again, decide if this is the kind of relationship that you want. I mean, this all may happen, a couple of times a year or something like that. I'm not saying the intermittent one. I'm saying this is a pattern with this guy. Then that's how you know he's on his way out. Number 7, You are the one who puts all the effort in to trying to keep the relationship going. You the chicks that want to call him and text him and ask him to go out and even pay for the date. You drive, you pick him up. You just do the most. You want to keep things going. You plan all the dates. You plan, you know, I don't know, you just do everything. He doesn't really do anything. He's just like a passenger riding in a wagon or something. And you doing the pulling, you made the wagon, you doing the running with the wagon, you designed the harness for the wagon. You did everything to try to be with this man, and he's not showing any real interest in reciprocating. It's like you're something to do for him. You're not really anyone that he's really interested in. You're just entertainment because he don't have shit else going on. You really should just kick that dude to the curb. That just really makes no sense. All right, number 8. Okay, I hope you guys. I'll say I put numbers this time because sometimes I don't, and I have to try to keep track mentally. I was like, oh, that's a disaster. All right, number 8. He started letting his what I call his inner bum come out. He's not even trying to be attractive to you anymore. Okay, when you first met him, dude was clean. I mean, maybe he didn't have a lot of money, but his clothes were nice. He would go to the gym. He would take care of his appearance. Trim up his beard and stuff. His hairline was all nice and stuff. He, always smelled good. Now the nigga, you go to hug you, you smell underarm funk. He walks by, you smell toe jam. He don't want to. He's like shower every now and then. He want to go to kiss you, and you see bits of food and shit in his teeth. It's like them fingernails look like they've been digging dirt. It's like no, and he just don't seem to be like you should love me anyway. No, nigga, you look like pig pen. I don't think so. That's just not gonna happen. So again, he's not putting in the work to be attractive to you, which means he's not putting in work into creating a dynamic that would support you being sexually attractive to him. Why? Because he doesn't care if you're sexually attracted to him. Why? Because he's on his way out. He's hoping that you get fed up with the pig pen routine and break it off. See, bad. He's acting horribly because he wants you to be the bad guy. But honey, one whiff of underarm funk and I would be out. And toes, oh no. Mm-mm. I had a boyfriend who was very athletic. He used to like to play basketball. Honey, them basketball shoes was just talking. He came in my apartment and I was like, what is that funky smell? Because he had come straight from, they hooped at a park. He had just come straight there, so he was going to get changed at the house and then we was going to go out, Honey, I smelled them shoes. I was like, what is that smell? He's like, oh, I think that's my shoes. He took his feet out them things and I almost passed out from no form. I made him put them outside on my balcony thing. Oh no, they cannot be inside polluting the air. No. They have to be outdoors, as they used to say in the South. Outdoors with the wild animals. That funk, man. Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, but he was very clean and stuff. It's just his shoes was funky. But I mean, from athletic endeavors. And but then I got him some new Dr. Scholl insole things, some anti-funk insoles, honey, because I just thinking about him walking around with that funk on his feet was just too much for me to even bear. That was just gross. It's like he was immune to the funky smell. I don't know. I couldn't handle it. Okay, our number 9. Your dude is saying things that he never would have said to you before. Now, this is when things get real interesting because a lot of women have this problem. He's never talked to me like this before. Well, the fact that he's doing it now means it's time for you to go because he just got way too comfortable or something. He thinks he can just talk to you any old kind of way. He might be calling you fat, whereas before you would hug him and come. Now he pushes you in a way he tells you too clingy. Or he says other things that's hurtful about your goals, your dreams, your ideas, your clothes, your cooking, your dog. I mean, whatever. He just becomes like this negative Nancy and, being critical and saying nasty, snarky things to you that he never would have said before. He was all compliments and wonder and glory and pride and, Vitamix. It's just you guys have to have your boundaries in place. That's all I can say about that. You don't need to be emotionally abused like that and stay in a relationship. Oh, honey, and speaking of abuse, let me tell you about some shit I heard. I was debating on whether about to do a show about it, but I don't know if it's one I really would want to do. I heard of something called let's see, clout something. But anyway, what essentially what it is ignorant young men have gotten started a trend where they post things online for likes that are things that where they've harmed their wife or girlfriend. For instance, one guy was told his girlfriend that her cat died. Now this cat she was very attached to and stuff. And so he's recording her emotional reaction to it and laughing and everything, right? And then he posts that online to humiliate her and make fun of her grieving about her pet that she loved dearly. Another guy recorded a video of him having put hot red pepper flakes on a tampon, and then his girlfriend was about to use. I don't know why she didn't notice it, but she, then he records her screaming and trying to wash that. Yes, yes, and her screaming and stuff, and her those feminine tissues being burned by this hot pepper, and he's laughing and recording it and put it online. And they do this shit for no reason other than to get likes online and get big ups from other sick in the head fuck dudes like they are. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow. And what's so sad is, it just seemed like this was like they thought this was okay, and the girls did too. So I wanted to bring this up because I'm like, okay, ladies and your boundaries. Any motherfucker that does some shit like that to you and he doesn't care about hurting you to the point where you're screaming in pain or your heart is broken and you're sobbing like there's no tomorrow, and his ass thinks this is entertainment and something to do to get him some publicity on and some likes on social media, he would sacrifice your emotional health for, and in the tampon girl's case, physical health for some likes on social media. Okay, not only is your boyfriend a narcissist, he's a sociopath. So you need to get away from him. Where's the limit on something like that? What's he gonna do to get likes? See, I'm like, oh my God. It's beyond childish. It's predatory. It gets, that's predatory kind of shit when it starts hurting you, because vaginal tissues and pepper, that's not a good mix. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that would send a woman to the hospital, and need burn treatment. This is very serious. So I'm not like, those tissues are extremely delicate to stuff, and that's why a lot of women can't even use certain kinds of soaps because they get a burn from the soap. So I'm just like, this is retarded and it's just evil. It's just unfucking believable. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, and so you can be on the lookout for a guy who thinks he's gonna do practical jokes at your expense like that. He has no respect for you, and I would suggest that you break up with him immediately. Oh yeah, he needs something, but this is just some sick shit. I mean, and it's like it's a thing, that a lot of them are doing. They like torture you and then record it and post it online. They need to be prosecuted for that shit. That's assault. I swear I would do. Somebody do have a boyfriend do some shit like that to me. I'm gonna record me killing you. How about that? And see how many likes I get when you watching you bleed out on camera, fucker. Happy New Year. This is just unbelievable. Okay, so that's the things that he wouldn't say, but I included things that he wouldn't have done either in that point number 9. So let's move on to point number 10. If you just wandered in, we're doing 25 ways, clues that your dude can throw out or give you by his actions or his words that he really is tired of the relationship with you and he wants to break up. Now, a lot of them won't break up using their words, so don't look for them to say that, ladies. They're going to show you with negative behavior, and that's what I'm going over, is the negative behavior that you should be on the lookout for. And I just brought, threw in some other wild examples that I came across. These are not standard types of things, but they're things that are evidently happening in our society right now, so you need to be aware of them. Okay, number 10. We only on number 10. Wow. His body language is all fucked up. He expresses irritation or disgust. Okay, so you used to walk together side by side. Now he walked way ahead of you and you struggling to keep up. Or you go in for a hug and he pushes you away, like, oh, leave me alone, kind of thing. Or you try to give him a kiss, he turns his head, rolls his eyes. You try to show him something, right? He's in bed and he just rolls over. All you get to show it to is his back. This kind of thing. You try to talk to him and he just looks at you with this deadpan expression and then turns the TV on right in your face to let you know, I'm not trying to hear what you're talking about, chick. And then how do you feel when he looks at you with this look like, he's looking at you like that, like he's about to throw up, just looking at you makes him want to vomit. Okay, that's all emotional abuse. That's all in the emotionally abusive category. And you feel unwanted, you feel unloved, you feel like you just shit and worthless and all these other kinds of things. That's a sign that you need to go. Instead, what most women do is try to do, they start doing the jump through hoops. Oh, can I get you something? Is something wrong? What can I do to make you happy again? All this old shit. I'd be like, you tired, crusty lipped motherfucker. Get out of here. I'm not thinking about you. You're going to be I wish you would push me away. You got one time to do that. One. It takes you 3 seconds to give somebody a hug, maybe 5, 10 if it's a long one. But you're gonna push somebody away. That just indicates that you don't want any contact with them right now or ever, and that's really messed up for a relationship. Okay. Number 11. It's clear that he's looking for somebody else or that he may have already, cheated on you. This is the thing when women write letters and they be talking about, oh, my boyfriend, everywhere we go, he's always checking out other women. Okay, well, why do you stay with a man who's always disrespecting you and checking out other women in your face? What are you doing? Why did you stay there and take that kind of mistreatment? But they never have an answer. He flirts with other women at parties and stuff. You standing there by yourself. He all over the place, Mr. Social Butterfly, flirting, chatting up all the women, and he leaves you there by yourself, or at the club or the party, wherever it is. These are all signs. These are all emotionally abusive things that show that you're not a priority to him, ladies. I don't understand why you guys don't get it. And then if you find out that, some of the women wrote in, oh, I found out that my boyfriend, has an ad on a personal site, or I found he's got a profile on Tinder, or POF or something, and then they're like, oh, what should I do? I'm like, what should you do? You should have already done it. Is this even really a question? Are you trolling me right now? So it's it kind of bothers me that the women don't think that they deserve to be treated better than that. You gonna have a boyfriend on a person, you got a personal ad up, then that means he's looking for somebody else. He's looking for a backup person or somebody to swing to, whatever he's looking for. He's not happy just being with you. And so you need to accept that and move on from him. Don't wait for him to tell you with words, like I keep saying. He's showing you with his behavior. All right, number 12, money. Okay, say y'all live together, right? Now, he still got the same job. He still got the same number of hours, the same bills, nothing new. But suddenly, every time it's you asking for some money, he don't have no money. Every time you need something that's supposed to be, chipping in or whatever, he don't have no money. Why does he not have any money? Because either A, he's spending it on another bitch, or B, he's stocking it up because he's saving up to move out. In which case, once he moves, then he will spring on you that you two are broken up. But either way, that is a sign that, how is it okay for a man to stare at other women? I don't know. They're just saying that these women, they write in and they ask that question. They talk about him doing it, and I'm like, okay, well, what you want me to do? I mean, what you should be busting him his eyes so he can't look at other people because his eyes will be swollen shut. That's what you should do. But, writing me asking what you should do when you should have been left a fool. He's disrespectful. He's a clown. I just don't understand, accepting that kind of stuff. Okay, number 13. You no longer factor into his future plans. Now, this becomes an issue. Like, say you've been dating somebody and he's always talking about, well, we are going to do this, or next year I'd like to see us get, married and have, 2 kids. And, we going to go here, there on vacation. Everything is we and us. Okay. It's pretty certain, it's very clear that he's thinking in you being there. You're going to be right there with him through all these different situations that he's talking about. But now, all of a sudden, he don't talk about the future anymore. Or if he does, the person that he references is himself. Well, I'm going to go to Hawaii. Not we going. I want to go to Hawaii. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to move to the, me, me. Okay, when that happens, most women be like, well, what's going on? You're not including me anymore, this and that. You don't need to ask because you already know what that means. Come on now. You just want to have some unnecessary conversation. Yeah, they do. Let these women give it to them anyway. I'm like, somebody talking to me all kind of crazy and treat me like I'm shit on a stick. They not getting that. Don't even stand too close to me. Go to the other side of the room, preferably on the other side of that door that lets you in and out of here. Be on the other side of it, so you on the outside. You outdoors. Be there. All right. So that's. He doesn't see a future with you, in other words. So that's why he stopped talking future talk. Now, a lot of times it's that you ladies, something happened, something went down, and you responded or said something or did something that really turned him off. And so it made him question, moving forward with you. But he's not sure, so he's staying in a relationship, but he's already, his emotional state is being reflected in the fact that he's not making any more future talk about you. So that's what you need to understand. Go through your Rolodex and see what it is that you did, if anything. I mean, it could just be it's just run its course. It's not exciting to him anymore. He's ready to move on. Number 14, and this is a hard one. He will avoid discussing, discussions like, you say, oh, we need to talk kind of thing. He'll avoid that. He avoids any confrontations. Any kind of issue resolution is avoided at all costs. Why? Because he don't give a shit. Why? Because he don't care. He's not going to be there anyway long enough to worry about if it's a problem for you or not. It's like, whatever. That's good. I mean, I don't care. They don't know they have the power because they've been trained out of that. To think that even some people, even these men, think if they get married, that they own your body, that you have to do what they say and give them sex when they want it and all kind of other stuff. It's like, wow, for real? This was kind of unusual. Oh, where's my other lamp? Oh, that's awful bright. Okay. Number 15, he stopped listening to you, and you have to repeat everything several times. Have you ever had a boyfriend like that? I did. This guy, oh my God. And I knew, luckily I knew what time it was, because he usually had an ironclad memory. He would remember shit I said 6 months ago or what I liked when we went window shopping when we first met. Okay, so he had already established a pattern of remembering everything I said, but suddenly I found myself repeating myself, and I was like, oh, this here would be kind of interesting. So I was like, huh. So that after that happened a couple of times, I was like, okay, so you ready to go? Why don't you just go then? Because it's like, you're not doing me no favor sticking around, and obviously you don't want to be here. So let's just end it amicably and just go on our separate ways. No, that's not. I said, yes, it is. Be honest with yourself. Stop tripping now. Come on. So he finally admitted it, and so then we broke up. But it was, it was cool. Like, I needed some money one time, but I forgot what happened, and I needed $200, and I needed it like that second. And he drove to my house and gave it to me. So I think breaking up in a way that's cool is, it works better if you just call him out on his shit and admit to him that, you know what's going on and he's not going to be slick. All right. Number 16, he's grumpy and critical all the time and argues about nothing. You say, oh, look how blue the sky was. No, it's really not blue. It's more cerulean. Well, it's really just gray and cloudy. It looks like it's raining. Well, the weather didn't say it was going to rain. So what are you, a weather artist now? You know everything? You know more than the National Weather Service? Yang, 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 yang. You don't know shit. Okay. Everything is an argument. Everything is some shit. You know, you can't do nothing right. He want to criticize the way you drive, the way you wear your hair, the way you walk, the way you chew, like in War of the Roses. You know, I mean, it's just anything that he can find to complain about and nitpick about and criticize you about and cause a fight over, he's gonna do it. He just grumpy. It's like nothing makes him happy, nothing makes him smile. He blows up about just the littlest shit, like a kid left a shit on the floor or something. That's what little kids do because they're low to the ground. It's easier for them to find it if it's on the floor because they're only about a foot off the floor themselves, right? So and then he walks in. Now you can't see that big ass toy on the floor, and then he falls over the toy. God damn it, them fucking kids! They suck. Okay, and he blows up and acts a fool about the toy on the floor. Stuff like that. Everything they want to fight about everything. It's like, you know what, take your fight and go on over there somewhere. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. You trying to just wear me out with this argument. And then it's like it puts you on the defensive, right? So you constantly trying to defend your position, defend what you wore, say why you like something, why nothing's wrong with it, all this shit. I'm not going to argue with you about that. I'm going to just keep doing what the fuck I want to do the way I want to do it. You don't have to like it. But if you don't want to like it, then you need to get out of my life. Those are your two choices. Either you like what I do and how I do it, or you leave. And then you don't have to look at what I do and how I do it. Very simple. A or B. Make your decision. I'm not going to play these games with them. You know, they want to get into that thing because that's what they do. You know, so they want to act. So basically what they're doing by being this grumpy and critical and making these arguments all the time, they're setting you up so that when they decide to break, you know, when they actually are ready to leave, when he got his other shit squared away with the other chick, he gonna like, you know, bound over there too. He's going to use the fact that you guys fight all the time as the reason. But he's the one who started it. But see, that's not part of the thing. I just want you to, I'm saying that to you because I want you to understand the game. So he starts a fight. He blows the fights up. This goes on sometimes for weeks or months. And then when he's finally ready to go, he's going to say, well, you know, we do a fucking fight all the goddamn time. Who the fuck want to be in a relationship like that? Shit, this shit is ridiculous. I'm out. Okay, so he set you up. That's what, so you got to understand the kind of game so that you can, you know, do the preemptive strike and say, well, you know, I don't really want to be arguing with you all the time, so why don't you go? That's what you're trying to do now anyway. They always be somebody else with other people. They don't want other people to know they kind of fool. Okay, or number 17, you got a man who's doing it big all over town without you, right? He is steady in the clubs. You know, he making it rain. He's all over. You see him in pictures with his friends. He just having a good old time. He just doing the most, right? Where are you in those pictures? You're never there. Did you notice that? You're never there. It's just him on his Instagram, on his Snapchat, on his Facebook or whatever people got these days. And there's all these pictures of him just, you know, blowing up the town. But you're never there. You have to stay at home. And that's what he tells you. You have to stay at home. And, you know, it's fine for dudes to have time with their friends. Don't get me wrong. You know, they need that male bonding time. I mean, even if your guy doesn't have friends, he need to find some so that he has something to do with himself besides be up under you all the damn time. That's not healthy for either one of you. But what I'm saying is, you know, there should be a balance of him spending time with you doing all of this because you like that too, right? And him doing it with his friends. Because really, like when guys get, you know, you in a relationship, you married, and you go out someplace with your friends, that's not where you should be going. You should be going on fishing trips, to the baseball game, to the Raiders game, you know, something, you know, to the gym to work out and play basketball or something. I mean, that kind of stuff. Wholesome male bonding things. Not shaking your ass with a bunch of single women and tempting your dick in a nightclub. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, but you know, but you got a guy like that. He's just basically telling you that, you know, what you want and what you need is not really important to him. It's not on his radar. He don't give a shit. And so you need to just know what time it is and work with that. Number 18, you disagree on important values and life direction. Now, I will be doing a show during February on values. I don't know what day in February, but it's going to be in there somewhere. Values are important, and it's just basically like how you live your life. You know what your rules are for living your life. That's your values. And some people call it a moral compass, but that's different. Moral compass is basically how you will treat other people. Your value system is based on how you will treat yourself. So it's two completely different things. So I want to clarify that for people who think that they are you can use those terms interchangeably. They're different. So when you guys have different values, like say you're dating him and everything's wonderful, and then you find out that you want two kids and he doesn't want any kids. Well, okay, what's that mean? How's that supposed to work? You want to live in a city high-rise apartment and he wants like a character house built in the 40s with a big yard, and that he can remodel in the inside, but it has a traditional outside. He's got a big yard for the dog that he wants to have when you guys get married. Or you like soul music and he calls your type of music names and teases you about it, and he wants to rap gangster rap all the time. And even with things you guys can't even come to common ground on things like what kind of restaurant you're going to go to, what kind of movie you're going to watch on Netflix, what kind of movie you're going to watch at the movie theater. There's always a disagreement about you know about how you're going to do things as a couple. And when you can't agree on major life decisions and there's always some conflict about it, it means that you two aren't compatible. And most of the time, women be more flexible on this and be like, well, I'll try to, I'll change, I'll be what he wants. Men aren't that. They're just going to break up with you because they can see that it's not going to be what they want to get. They want nothing when they want it, not going to be what they want to have, in other words. Okay, number 19, and this is a big one. Y'all put up with this a lot. He's unreliable. He's undependable. He's never there anymore when you need him to be. Now, before he was, right? So that's why you felt like you could trust him. You could put your faith in dude. Dude was gonna, dude was the one. He was Johnny on the spot. He was all these things for you. But you one day something happens, like say your dog gets hit by a car, and it's the dog you've had for 5 or 6 years, and you all devastated and everything. The little doggy's all fucked up. It's at the hospital. You don't know if it's gonna make it. You call him trying to find him. You need some emotional support. You're trying to find your man, right? He gets on the phone. Well, I'm busy. I can't really deal with that right now. Well, I can't come. I don't. I'll see you later. Okay. Or you lost your job, or you find out your mom has cancer. You're looking for him to be there and support you through this thing, right? To lend, to have your back. He don't have it. He tells you he's going to do something for you, and then he doesn't do it. I fired a guy because I had started a new job. And when you start a new job, it's like a month before you get paid. And I had been out of work for a while, and so I mean I had some money like for my main expenses, but then I needed some money to pay for my phone bill, and they was not going to let it last. They was not. This was years ago. I had a house phone. It was a long time ago, and I didn't have a cell phone and stuff then. That was pre all them days. And so I was like, okay, you cover this bill for me. Pay this phone bill. So he swore up and down he was going to do it. The next thing you know, my phone was cut off, and find out that he did not do it. And so we just broke up. I'm just like, okay, well, that's showing me you don't give a fuck about me. So, yeah, that was kind of hard because I really liked that guy too. But that was some shit that I was not going to tolerate. You're not going to treat me like that. And then think you're going to still be coming over here and tapping this and spending time with me and all this stuff. Oh, no, nigga. That you are here for cut off. And that was that. Um, you know, also, it could be just little things like, say you was getting ready to put up your Christmas decoration. Most women aren't, we ain't 6 feet too. So you got a dude who can reach up into tall spots and push shit up and stuff. You're going to be dependent on him to come and help you. You carry your big ass heavy Christmas tree and help you put it in a stand, all this old stuff. You're looking for him to come and assist. And this could be like a fun evening while you decorate the tree and decorate the house and y'all laugh and joke and sing Christmas. You know what I mean? It could be like it could be a little thing. But he don't show up after swearing he gonna be there at 7. Seven come, eight come, nine. He still ain't there. You ain't heard from him. He won't return your calls or text. He comes to you the next day. Oh, did you get the tree up? No, nigga, it's still laying here on the floor where it was because you didn't show up. See, but that's what I'm saying. That's when you know if it's a little thing and he can't come through for that, please do not trust him with anything big like being a father to you or to any child that you may have. He's already shown you he's an idiot. Okay, so you don't have no business getting a kid involved in that bullshit. Likewise, you don't put any big things on him where it's going to be like a live or die kind of situation because he's a bullshit motherfucker. And he's already told you that he is. He showed you that he is. The horrible thing is number 20. Newsweek publishes asked this article about a study that was done on men who found out that their wives had a catastrophic illness. Now, they only followed the couples for 5 years, but they did find that in this study, several thousand people, the men were 6 times more likely to abandon the women than the women were the men. 6 times. So y'all getting married with this for better or worse shit that as soon as it's worse, the dudes sky the fuck up. Not all of them, of course, but 6 times more of them did than women. That's a great number, percentage-wise. You know, they don't want to be the caregiver. The woman will, roll up her sleeves and do it, but the men refuse, and they be out. There's like, I don't know if they don't think about it, or that's not what they want in a marriage or something. It's more when they find out that, woman's sick, she can't be having sex or whatever while she heals or gets her treatments or whatever. That's all they think about. Excuse me, is their dick. And so, they be out because they're not getting what they want. Just trifling, just ugh. Number 21. Talking, especially romantically, is like, okay, he barely talks to you anymore. This happens in a lot of relationships. The guy just shuts down. He stops having interesting thing to say. If we don't have nothing to say, he starts answering you in them one word, grunts. As, yeah, nah, I don't know. Huh. What? That kind of shit. That's your conversation. He don't have nothing to say to you. And, he really doesn't say anything sweet and romantic to you. Hey, babe. Hi, doll face. How's my precious? You sweetie, my baby's hot. Those kind of little things, like nothing. All that shit dries up. He doesn't flirt. There's no spontaneous expressions of affection. He's just cold and just like shut down with no words. That is a man who is on his way out. Recognize what time it is. Don't be begging him. You got to understand. Well, I just want to, I'm trying to compile all of these. My ex had to do all the housework because I simply refused. Well, that's how you got to do it sometimes. Because otherwise they won't do stuff because they keep waiting for you to do it. But they the ones messing shit up and stuff, they throwing their shit all over the place, and then had the nerve to be asking you where is it. I don't know, it's where you left it, motherfucker. How am I supposed to know? Do I look like a shoe bloodhound? I don't know where you left your shit. You can't find it, just go buy some new ones. Leave me alone. Okay, number 22. He starts suddenly wanting privacy and space to himself. Okay, now this is okay. Before that, he was like your fucking shadow. You couldn't get rid of him. He's following you everywhere you go in the house. You in the kitchen, here he is. Hi, what you doing? You go in the bathroom, he's out there outside the door. When you coming out? Well, you at the bedroom, laying down, taking a nap. Oh, suddenly he's tired too, so he want to lay down next to you. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you used to have. He just couldn't get enough of you. He just want to be all up under you all the time. Okay, but now suddenly he needs all this space. You notice that he put a security code on his phone. He disappears in the garage for an hour at a time. Or he's outside sitting in his car talking on the phone, just all mysterious. Or texting somebody more mysterious. Or a couple of somebody. I mean, it could be more than one somebody. We don't know. But he's just texting all the time. Or, he's in the bathroom for a long time with the door closed and locked. I mean, it's like, okay, what's all this privacy that you need all the time, all of a sudden? And, all the following about you and stuff he used to do, he don't be doing that no more. 25 ways to describe a dusty. You might be right. You might be right. But whatever it is, you know, he's got, secretive phone calls. They start deleting their text records. The records, they delete all. So there's no trace of it. All kind of stuff. It's just real interesting, to watch these guys at work and to hear stories from women. And then, as I review the advice letters for the past 6 months, each one of these was represented in at least one letter. Plus more, because then you get into the way he announced he's bi and he's, this. And that. Okay, I don't even want to touch those because then this list would be never ending. But I wanted to limit it to the 25 what I felt were the most common behaviors that you're likely to see in men of any age. Because some of the girls that come here, they're high school and college age, and then there's older guys and they're married people. So I tried to pick 25 things that would be valid across the board. Not really so much into a niche market. That was how I tried to work this. Okay, number 23. This is a big one for the young set. He ignores you. Okay, you call him, but he don't call you back for hours or maybe even till the next day. You text him. He used to text you right back like his hand was like on the phone waiting for a text to pop up from you. But now you got to wait hours, a day, sometimes two, for him to do it. He barely looks at you when you're talking to him. He never compliments you anymore. He generally acts like being around you is a fucking chore. It's just like, ugh. He gets this look and this, I don't know. I've just seen it. I've seen couples out that where the guy was looking like that. And especially when they had a couple of kids and the kids were not being well behaved. The kids running around doing bread. The mother's yelling at them and chasing them around and stuff. And the dude is just looking like, ugh. I'm so sick of this shit. That kind of face. It's terrible. But the young ones, this is really important. When he stop calling and stop texting you back, you don't start blowing up his phone and you don't start burning up your fingers with text to him. You be chill and you see if he responds. And if he doesn't respond after whatever you feel is a requisite number of hours or days, then you just ghost him. Or if he hasn't already done that to you. But either way, he's on his way out of the relationship because he's showing you once again that you're not important to him. You're not a priority. Yeah, they're very difficult. Number 24. This is the next to last one. Yes, please like the video. Please share a link. Don't have to be this one, but please share a link. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. 15,000 is a goal, so please share some links to videos that you like the most. There has to be at least one. There's almost 500 videos on this channel now. I think in another week or two I'm gonna hit the 500 mark. I'll announce it when I do. So number 24. Okay, now this is when you really know your shit is over. A dude that you consider, this is really for the young ones too. You consider this dude to be your boyfriend, right? You may even slept with him. But suddenly, he starts introducing you. You don't want to try to hook you up with his friends. Introduce you to somebody, a coworker or something. To say, well, he's single and so are you, kind of thing, he may say. And you sitting there looking all shocked and surprised because you thought you was getting something going with dude. But dude is straight telling you right now, oh, no. I may have tapped that, but I don't want no parts of a relationship with you. But I know a guy who might. And so here it is. Now, the risk with that is, some women are like, well, he might be trying to hook me up with a nice, with a nice guy since he knows that he's not. Most likely, you was a good time. And now he's put you in a good time to be had by all category. So you about to be passed around to his friends like an hors d'oeuvre tray. Everybody going to take a nibble. And then they're going to put the tray back down on the table. So you be very careful with that kind of stuff. If he starts doing something like that, you need to run. But understand what he's giving you a very straight, clear message. You ain't it. And I'm not going to be here. Yeah, guys do that. They do that. And, now you got to really be careful because, like I said, this might be some sex trafficking bullshit. You just never know. He's passing you around saying that this is a good person for you to date. And he done just essentially sold you to this dude. pimped you out and you didn't even know. So what I'm saying is, in a situation like this, if he starts trying to introduce you to other people, you decline. Say no, thank you. I'm perfectly capable of finding my own romantic partners, and then you cut all ties with that dude quick, fast, and hurry because there's something wrong with him. Okay, don't think of it like I said. Don't think about it as very nice. He's trying to hook you up. He's trying to hook you up so he can get paid. Oh, I talked about that. The ones who cut off all the public displays of affection. That's point number. Uh, uh, Let me see. Point number 4, Van. That was in point 4. Maybe you weren't here yet. All right. And then the last one. Yeah, y'all better understand what time it is. This sex trafficking shit is no joke. Number 25. And you can't get more clearer than this. He hit you with that let's take a break thing, or he flat out ghosts you. Now I put those together because, because it just made more sense. So a lot of these girls don't understand. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from my boyfriend in 3 weeks. You ain't had a boyfriend in 3 weeks. That's what that means. Well, I haven't heard from my boyfriend in 3 days. Well, you haven't had a boyfriend for 2 days. That's what that means. So, if you got a romantic partner, unless he going to be on a ship out in the middle of the ocean somewhere working under a submarine where there's no cell service, then there's no reason why he hasn't contacted you. So, there's cell service everywhere, even up in the mountains and whatnot. So there's no excuse. So he hasn't contacted you in 3, 4, 5 days, 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Then understand that you've been ghosted. You're ghost. He's like Casper. He has fled the scene and he's gone in a puff. You don't have no boyfriend no more. And that's like a lot of these girls don't get it. They're like, oh, should I call him? No, you should never call him because you're going to look like a fool. You're going to look like somebody who's dumb, who doesn't get the fact that he's gone. And there's nothing worse than making yourself look stupid. That's why I take to tell these people this kind of stuff. It may seem redundant and rudimentary to us older people, but we got 17 and 18-year-olds that no one's ever told them these things. So they just like, oh, I need to call him and see what's going on. No, you don't, because you already know what's going on. You've been ghosted. Accept it gracefully. Move on like a G. Don't go calling him, crying, whining, begging, and looking for him to give you answers and closure. Nobody gives you closure. You give it to yourself. Okay, so the second that happened, you need to understand what time it is. I'm going to put a little ghost, yes. And that's it. It's over. The money girl put up a little ghost. That's cute. Oh, that's funny. And understand too that thing. People say, oh, I want to take a break. We should take a break. Okay, there's no such thing as taking a break from a relationship. If you're in a tight relationship, the break that you may have is one has to go work somewhere else for a while or something, or it's like during the work day because you took an 8-hour break while he was at his job and you was at yours. But even then, close couples will still be in contact several times during those hours. They're gonna do a lunchtime check-in or mid-morning or something, and the mid-afternoon before they come home from work. Somebody's gonna say, what do you want for dinner? The other one might say, oh, I'm gonna pick something up, so don't worry about cooking, or I'm gonna stop by this and that and dry clean stuff, so I'll be home a little bit late. I mean, they update each other. They keep each other updated on what's going on. That's how a close couple do. So they always are in sync. Okay, they always are in sync. So you have somebody who you dealing with and who is not in sync with you at all, then you know that you have a problem, and you're not gonna, this break shit. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna work. You're essentially broken up. Just accept that. So that wasn't too bad. I only sneezed and coughed a couple of times. I feel all congested, but I survived. Right? It wasn't so awful. Yeah, you don't take breaks. I don't give a fuck how mad you get at him. If you feel like that's your man, don't ever suggest a break. And if he tells you that he wants a break, understand that means he's given up on the relationship. I mean, you might get it back later, but for now, he's fed up about something. So, you know, you could try. Some people try couples counseling, especially if they have children. You know, whether they're married or not, they have children. It would be worth that investment for the kids' sake. But in general, you know, you're a single woman, you dating a single dude, no children involved, no property, no nothing like that, and you find out that he wants to take a break. Just let it go. Just let it go. So, anybody have any questions? I'll take some questions here. Questions about breaking up only, though. Let's not stray too far off field. I'm still not my best, so. They play more men, but she says the men these days play more games than women. They always have. Who I don't know whoever thought that women were the ones that played the most games. They do not. Men are always trying to play some scandalous games and hook themselves up with some pussy, a place to stay, a hot plate. Something is always something. They boost their ego. I mean, it's like 9 million games. Yep. My aunt used to say when a guy acts up like that, it means that things weren't meant to be and not to sweat it. Exactly. Because my thing is this: if somebody, if that person feels like you're not the right person for them, then that means you're not. And you're not, that means they're not the right person for you either. That goes two ways. Should women block a guy after they break up? Oh, absolutely. I cannot say that enough. Is it necessary to break up in person? Absolutely not. I prefer that you do not, actually. Because too many women go off to break up with a guy and then we're never seen or heard from again. Don't do that. Break up over the phone or by text or by email or some shit. Change your status on Facebook to single. You know what that shit means. But as far as the going no contact, that is an excellent strategy because that otherwise you leave the door open for them to keep bothering you. They're gonna keep calling, crying about they want a chance and what they do wrong, and you so mean and why they still love you, blah 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 blah. Oh my God. Are they trying to nose? Yeah, I see you. I heard you was with somebody else. I heard this and that. Blah. So they're going to be all in, still trying to get in your business and all up in your mix. My thoughts about telling a guy that it's over. What do you mean? That's a little vague. Yeah, I kicked a guy out of my car trying to tell me how to drive. Those of you who know Houston know we was on not Westheimer. What is that road? Shoot. I can't remember the name of it now. But it's like Westheimer is more in the middle of the town and this one is more on the southwest side. But it's a big two-lane, I mean a multi-lane street, like 3 or 4 lanes. And I used to use that to go back and forth downtown. So we on the street, honey, and we in my car. And this nigga gonna start telling me some shit, crazy shit. Now keep in mind this is a busy street, people doing like 40 miles an hour. You think I gave a fuck? I hit the brakes of my car, people honking, cutting around me and stuff. And then now since I was young and flexible, then I turned sideways in the seat like this and I started kicking him. I was just kicking the fuck out of him all on the side of his head, this and that, this and that. And so he opened the car door to get away from my flying feet of death. And I put my car, swept back around, put my car in first, and hit the gas. Whoosh. I always drive a 5-speed. Car I have now, the crash one, is the first automatic I've had in years, like decades. And that car took off. So, of course, the door closed. Once I took off, I drove down the street, left his ass sitting there. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, don't do it in person because they have a tendency to feel that rejection and want to act stupid. Don't do that. Do not do that. Too many women, to go to do that, or they want to go get their stuff. You know what? Unless the shit, and this is the thing too. If you have like family heirlooms and shit like that, keep that shit at your mama's house or at your place. Do not bring your valuable shit to no nigga's house. What the fuck were you thinking? So then you be like, oh, I need to go and get it. That was my grandmother gave it to me. Why did you put it over there? So that was just dumb. So, but anyway, in any instance, unless he decides to give it to you voluntarily, do not call him and do not bug him about your stuff. Because in that way, he knows he got something, he got something over. You can yank your chain. And that's what they try to do. My daughter had this little boyfriend, this little crazy ass white boy she was dating. And I guess she going to call herself living with dude. That's fine. I didn't care. She was 19. She's old enough to make that decision. She had a job and everything. And so she comes walking home one night in the middle of the night because we didn't live too far from him. And she didn't have any of her stuff with her. She was just on foot. And I'm looking at her like, I could feel like that sheen, what does they call it? Those special characters that had the dude flames on. That was me. Flame on. I could feel myself on fire. So I said, what happened, daughter? Oh, I just left. What is Face's name? I'm like, I see that you left. Why did you leave? I'm trying to be calm because, she's very sensitive. Oh, well, something happened and I don't want to tell you because I know you'll go crazy. So I said, well, put his number in my phone. So she did. I said, I'm not going to call him, but I'm going to wait for him. Any stuff that happens, and you tell him to call me. So, but I want to know who it is calling when the phone rings. That's the only reason. And I held my word. So, honey, I have to tell y'all this story. So, at the time, I was dating this like thug ass nigga, fine as fuck. But nobody I would ever think about marrying. We were together for one reason. You know what that was. So, and he knew my daughter, and he knew she wasn't, so he happened to call. So I was like, oh, yeah, let me tell you what happened. And he's like, what did he do to her? I said, I don't know. She won't tell me. So we both silent on the phone because our imaginations are going crazy. He's like, okay, I'm going to put the word out to a couple of my friends. You know where this motherfucker live? I said, yep. And you know what the motherfucker looked like? I said, yep, I got a picture. He said, text it to me. So I did. And so I said, she said he won't give her stuff. So, this was the next day. I called him. I said, she said he won't give her stuff. And I'm like, he won't give her stuff. Well, what you gonna do? Because he knew, you're not gonna do nothing unless I tell you to. That's the agreement. I said, I'm about to call him and tell him that he needs to bring her stuff. So I called a little dude. Now he was like a double black belt and some choppy thing. And so I called him. I said, oh, Taryn told me that she won't give her things. You need to bring her stuff. And you don't want her to come and get it, which I can understand. You don't want her back in your house. I need you to pack everything up and bring it and put it on my patio. Because I had like my parking where I park. Then you come in the gate. Then there was a little deck there. I had my little flowers and my grill and stuff out there and all the stuff. And then the air conditioning unit and stuff. And then you go through the sliding glass doors into the house. So I said, okay, you put them inside the gate, on the patio, put all the stuff there. I'm not doing shit, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, yes, you are. You're going to do that, or you're going to have a problem with me. And then he sat there. He's like, well, I know this and that and kung fu and this and that. I said, I know thug niggas from East Oakland. Now, you prepared to deal with that? And he just sat there real quiet. Are you threatening me? I said, were you threatening me? I mean, it sounded like a threat. You started telling me about your kung fu and stuff. Like that's supposed to be a warning to me or something. That's what it sounded like. And I'm being very calm because they're young. I said she's 19. I think he was 20, 21. I mean, they're kids. So I'm like, I'm not going to go too froggy with him until he made me. So then he wanted to talk some more shit. I said, well, I'm going to tell you is this. When I wake up in the morning, her shit better be in this patio. Every last fucking thing that she has in your house, it better be in my goddamn patio, or I'm coming to your house and I'm bringing my friends. Well, I said, but can you battle with bullets though? See, I just haven't met anybody who could kung fu bullets. And all these niggas been to San Quentin, so they don't give a fuck about going back. I didn't know if they had or not, but it sounded good. So he was scared as shit. Guess what? When I woke up the next morning, all her shit was on some stuff on there, plus some shit that wasn't even hers. I still have these bowls he gave me that was his grandmother's. He gave me those too, just to make me not come to his house. And so we didn't go. We didn't go. And my dude was so disappointed though, because he was really looking to bust somebody's head. But I'm like, that was, yeah, he said the wrong thing. He was like, little white boy, you don't understand what time this is. It's like, I liked him good enough and stuff, but if there's a problem and my daughter got beef with you, then I got beef with you. I don't like you no more. Especially you're going to be talking crazy to me like that. All you're supposed to say to me is, yes, ma'am, what time should it be there? Then I wouldn't have had a problem. I would have had to make that call. But, you coming off all crazy and try to be all defensive and think you're going to be jumping bad with me like you jump bad with her. Oh, no, nigga, your ass will be dead. You don't even understand. So I just, yeah, they all did time in the queue. And I was like, pfft. Well, I know two of them did. Let me put it that way. Two of his friends was in the queue. And one was in, Fullerton, something. I think that's down south. But, yeah. Nigga can't, let me see you chop up on some bullets, motherfucker. Let me see that magic happen. So, he brought her, like I said, we have extra shit. He was like anything, let me just put this shit on there. So, when I woke up, it was there. It was just a lovely moment. And there's a couple of situations I had to get into where white folks were trying to fuck over my baby. I was like, nah, I'm the only one that has that privilege. And even I don't do it. I mean, I get on her ass, but I'm not going to fuck over her. If they was trying to do that, and they just didn't know. They just didn't understand who her mama was. That's the problem. And I know I'm short. I'm only 5'5", and I don't look very threatening. I mean, you see this face? I don't look threatening at all. But I will rip your ass to shreds. Then I will sue you, and then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to kill you. That's it. You're going to get one of them three. So, I'm from San Francisco. The Fillmore. In the old days. Because, I keep telling you guys, I ain't no spring chicken. The old days when there used to be pimps and players and hustlers and shit around in the area. My cousins were in the Black Panthers. I have a button, an original button that says Free Angela. I should show it to you guys sometime. It's an original from the 60s. But, I got it from them. So, we gotta run. My daddy done shot up folks and beat a man with a hammer upside the head. I just come from a family of very violent people. And it's just genetic. I'm just gonna fuck you up and not give a fuck about it. That's why I be so mouthy on the channel with people. I don't give a fuck. It's just not, I don't have that gene. Yeah, they were pimps all up and down Fillmore Street. Hayes and Fillmore and Octavia, out Broderick and all out there. Just all those there, they would all be, yeah, they are assholes. But I'm as big. Yeah, I'll have to find it. I have it in my treasure box. They are assholes. The ones that's not assholes is bi, trans or something. I don't know what the fuck they are, but they confused about their sexuality. Do breaks work for long distance relationships? Your whole relationship is a break. There's no such thing as a long distance relationship. I don't know what people be talking about. That shit always bottom falls out of it. Because people, especially adult people, need, yeah, Geary Street. Yep, Geary and Fillmore. That whole area over there. Before they put the Fillmore Center in and all the white people moved in over there, that place was nothing nice. It was horrible. That whole area, that strip of Fillmore all the way up was like Thug City. So yeah, your long distance relationship, girl, please. There ain't no such thing. You got adult people looking for somebody to spend time with, to fuck, to kiss on, and talk to, and all that stuff, and they have a relationship with a telephone. That's essentially what that is, or Skyping you or whatever. They can't touch you. They're not gonna put me on suspension about some shit that happened 15 years ago, before I even had my YouTube channel. Um, so you know, that's what I think about long distance relationships. There's no hope for them. One of the two people has to move to where the other one is, or it's just gonna fall apart. Soon as somebody finds what I call local talent, they're gonna be gone, and that's just that. That's just how it is. Yeah, I can't do. To me, long distance is if it takes me longer than 15 minutes to get to me. That's okay, 20. That's right, because the traffic in the Bay Area has really gotten bad. So I probably need to change that to 30 minutes to be fair, because what used to take you 10 minutes to do now takes 20, 25. It's the traffic is crazy. But so okay, I should adjust that, but I haven't yet. But it's something I will consider. But for years, my thing was if you can't get to me in 15 minutes, you long distance, and I don't do long distance relationships. So I could even date somebody who lived like in San Jose. That's an hour drive. No. I met a guy by my cousin's house in Fairfield. He was in the Air Force. He's like, oh, because I'm here a lot, and this and that, and I can come down and see you. No, we're not doing that either. He was cute though, but not cute enough. An hour? No, we're not doing an hour. That's too long. It is. That's essentially what it is. That is what they used to call them, pen pals. But now we have an email, and texting and stuff. So, but essentially, it's still, yeah, 20 minutes. That's long distance. 15 minutes. But like I said, I will take this under advisement because the traffic issue is definitely a consideration. Yes, honey, I've been to New Orleans a bunch of times. One time, I almost got kidnapped. That's before I knew they were doing sex trafficking down in New Orleans. I had to tell you about that story one day. That was some bullshit. Them niggas in the Crescent City ain't no joke. 2.5 hours from yours. He wants you to move in. I bet he does. 2.5 hours. That's 2.5 hours one way. So that's 5 hours. Oh no, you must be in super love. You have a 2 hour commute, girl. I pray for you. I couldn't do it. I got offered a job down some little company. They had these campuses. It wasn't Google, some other like big name. I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, they were looking for a person to come in and run their fitness. They want to have an in-house fitness thing with nutrition counseling and weight loss management and stuff like that. And I've done all of that stuff as a trainer. So I did the phone interview and it was great. The guy was just real gung ho to see me. So I went down there and honey, just okay, first of all, I wasn't even going in commute time, and that shit took an hour and a half to get there. I knew when I got out of my car, if I didn't give a fuck how much money they offered me, unless a helicopter ride back and forth from work was included, I wasn't taking that job. Because just like I said, my appointment was like 11 or something. So I'm leaving, I'm going in the middle of the day. It's not commute time. Shit. I go in there and it was nice and stuff. They was gonna be paying my ass a grip of money. Had my own office, like a whole wing with like fitness equipment and assessment stuff and everything and all the stuff. There was a little conference room. I mean, that was gonna be all for me. And I was like, this shit is bomb. I'm gonna have like business cards and go to conferences and shit. They gonna give me a company card and all that stuff. But you know what? 2.5 hours each way commuting. That was not. It wasn't enough money. It wasn't. I wanted at least 75, $80,000 more, and they were like, "Oh no, that's too much." I'm like, "Okay, then bye." I mean, I'm sure they found somebody that lived in the area because I was gonna be commuting from Oakland. No, I lived in Walnut Creek at that time. From Walnut Creek to Santa Clara, hell, fucking no. All your exes from Richmond. That's why they your exes. Stay ass out of Richmond. Do not fuck with Richmond niggas. They are just the worst. They worse. They like 2 notches worse than the Oakland ones. Shot in the head on vacation in New Orleans. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. These people, they just shady. Them dudes are shady as hell. Yeah, my life has been very interesting, and you know why, Mary? Because when I was very young, I decided, I don't know who I heard say this. Somebody was old and they were like, oh, I wish I had a this and that. I wish I had a. And I vowed I did not want that person to be me. I did not want to be like, looking at my end days and lamenting about what I shoulda, woulda, coulda if only I had had the nerve. Unfortunately, before I came to this conclusion, in my teens, the only thing I really wish I would have done was gone to college overseas. I wish I had been able to do that. But, there probably would have been some financial issues with that anyway. But that's the only thing in retrospect that I thought of that I would want to do that I didn't, that I haven't done. Everything else I've wanted to do, I've done except for that and go to Japan and maybe Egypt. So those are three things I want to do. Oh, and Portugal, which I plan to do this year. Go to Portugal this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, girl. That commute was the one from like a death drive. Just like, by the time you get there, you dead. Yeah, them Richmond, nah. I have a question. Oh, who? Let me scroll up. I'm looking. Oh, why do ex-boyfriends always come back? Well, I wrote a whole article on that. And it's not like they come back. They just want to come and see if they can still tap that ass. It's an ego thing. They want to call and they start talking about the old times and how good it was. And remember when we used to this and remember that time and it's always the same. They have like a fucking script. And so what they do is they get your emotionally. See, this is something keep women are so easily manipulated with their emotions. If you have any doubt, and I'll try to remember to put it in the thing up there, where the little video line goes, and it's going to be the video about why you need to control your emotions. They get women every time and they tap into it. This is a pimp game. This is what they teach the young dudes to do. So he calls you with all this time, with his good time and all this stuff. Yes, and I plan to be a straight hoe when I go. So there will be no witnesses. But anyway, so they get into your emotions, right? And they just tell you, oh, yeah, we all did good times, and I really miss those times we had, and remember when we used to laugh, and remember that time, this and that, and so they tell you funny stories and stuff, and it's so amazing that these dudes tend to have like stellar memories. I mean, it's like some shit like if they worked for NASA, they could make $1 million because they can remember every kind of bullshit thing that there is in the world to remember, but they can't remember some shit like how to get a college degree. But they can remember some bullshit. Okay, so then here they come with that, and you listen. So you get caught up in it because you don't know no better. So you listening to him, and you like, oh yeah, I remember that time. That was fun, huh? You just doing the most, just having all these flashbacks. So then he hangs up. So say now the trap has been set. So, I'll call you back another day. It's fun catching up. So you feeling all hopeful. Oh, that might mean he want to come back since he said he didn't realize what he had and this and that. Okay, so see, the trap is laid now. So he just sitting back with his legs crossed just laughing because he know when next thing he say he's going to reel your ass right back in and have you right where he wants you. So then here you are. You laying asleep at night. All night you just thinking about all the shit that he said and you getting all, worked up about it and like, yes, it would be nice if we got back together. I really liked my time with him. See, that's what he wants you to think. It was fun. It was exciting, this and that. So then he calls you the next time. Yeah, I'm trying to give you all the game. It's always the same. And he calls you the next time or sends you some text or whatever. And he's like, how you doing, sweetie? So he's going to call you the same name he used to call you back in the past, right? So you're going to be getting all caught up in it. So, I don't know, babe, sweetie, baby, duck face, lip girl. I mean, whatever the name was, he going to pull that out and call you that. So you're going to get all caught up. Your emotions are stirred. Your heart starts racing. He's like, oh, can I come over and spend some time with you? How do I feel? How you feel about that? I really want to see you. Now you, instead of seeing him out somewhere, making him take you out on a date, okay, that'll be nice. So he's like, So he gets shiny suited up, fresh drawers, shaves all down there, manscapes or whatever you call it. Put on, trim up his beard and stuff. Put on his smell good juice, and then he's at your house. And he's just the same scent he used to wear. So you've taken back in your memories through the senses of smell. And you remember that smell, and you remember how he used to smell when y'all was in the sheets. And then the next thing you know, he's sitting up there. Come sit next to me. Sit closer to me. Oh, I just want to hold your hand. I just want to hug you. Oh, can I have a kiss? And it's just inch by inch. He gets you right where he wants you. To the next thing you know, you in the bed screaming, and that's it. It's all over for you. And it all started because he just wanted some booty. That's all. So they don't come back unless you let them. That's why you put the blocks up so he can't even contact you. Just block him, and then you don't have to worry about this problem. I'm like, shh. The last time boyfriend who called me, I made that mistake and answered the phone because I didn't know who it was. He called from somebody like a different number, and I didn't know who it was. I thought it was a client, right? So I didn't recognize the number, but they do from referrals. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Sometimes I answer. Usually I let it go to voicemail, but this particular time I answered. This nigga on the phone talking about, "Hi, Deb." I recognized his voice immediately, but I had to play it like I didn't. Who the fuck is this? Is that how you talk to your ex, all your exes? No, just how I talk to you, nigga. What do you want? And then he's like, "Oh, I just want to check and see how you are." I'm like, "What are you doing calling me anyway? I thought you had died." That's what I told him. I thought he had died. He was so through. He's like, "Well, where did you hear that?" I said, "I don't know. I must have dreamed it or something. But all I know is when I was thinking it, I was so happy. It was just such a wonderful thing. So you being on this phone right now is very disappointing to me." I was clowning his ass so hard. He was just too through with me. Just too through. But that's so. Then I had to block that number too. But it's like, I don't want to hear from my exes. And if you don't either, you will put everything in place to make sure that they cannot contact you. And if you know they still can call you and all this stuff, then you have a problem. Somebody gave your ex your number. Oh no. Whoever that is, you need to fire that person. That person need to only get your Google phone number, which you're going to be giving out from here on out to people, right? Right. We're not going to give your real number out. Yeah, I told him I thought he died. And he was just like through with me. He was all sputtering and shit on the phone. Where you hear some shit like that? And I didn't want to lie on nobody. You know what I mean? So say, well, so-and-so told, I'm not that kind of person. So that's why I say, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I just dreamed it. But whatever, it was a happy dream. Nigga. And so I bet you his ass hasn't called me again. It's like, damn, she wish I was dead. I know it ain't no action, ain't no be no booty getting over there. Yes, honey. Yeah, if the kid's father, you can't block him, but you can, make sure that he has. I already did that, Lisa Marie. It's called something about the magic stick. I don't call it that because that phrase would get flagged by Google. It's called the magic stick. It's yellow. I know the picture's got a yellow background on it and stuff. So, yes, but we've done that video. Yeah, that's most women get digmatized. I don't know why. It's like it's just so many different dicks in the world. It's just like so many different experiences to be had. It's like, okay, so this one was really good. Okay, the next one's like, oh. Okay, then the one after that is like, oh, Jesus. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And so it's like, why just get stuck on one when there's just so many more to experience? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, the magic stick. He asked about your work. Please. I don't know what's the problem with. I just y'all. Y'all just need to be a little tougher, be a little harder. Care more about yourself than you do men, and you be living quite fine. You get digmatized easy. Oh, girl, you got to fix that. No, most of them aren't. But you know what you have is some women who associate that with being loved because it's the only time that somebody really shows them any attention and affection and that kind of stuff, tells them nice things. So they associate that digmatized situation with being loved, and it's unfortunate that that's how it goes, but that's very real. Nowadays, it's like I'd say, maybe half men are good in bed. The other half, I don't know what they be thinking. What you doing? And the part that really irks me is like, okay, you tell them that they shit is whack, right? I mean, you don't use those words unless you're me, but you guys are probably way more polite than me, and so you would say, "Oh, I would prefer, blah 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 to blah blah blah." Okay, now see, a guy who's a true lover, he's gonna be taking that under advisement, and really the ones who are really lovers, they're looking at you, especially the first couple of times when they, y'all is doing it. They don't do doggy style, not they want to see you. Okay, that's you can tell a dude who's a coxman versus one who's just a punk ass. So the coxman, he's gonna position everything so he can see your face and hear your breathing and see everything that's going on up here. Okay, so he's gonna do some basic shit in the first, or maybe any whatever what you do, y'all gonna be facing each other. Okay. Now, the reason why they do that, these are the dudes who are true lovers, because they're measuring your response to everything they try. Now, the first time might not be as good, but that's his experiment, right? He's taking notes. It's going to be good because he's going to, adjust what he's doing based on your response, but he's learning your response, and he can't do all his moves in one time, so it's going to take 2 or 3 times, and you notice each time it gets better until that fourth or fifth time when you have your ass is hitting the ceiling because he has paid attention to what you like, okay? Those are the dudes where the women be going crazy. Those are the ones. Now, those kinds of guys are rare because most men are extremely selfish in bed, and all they care about is their own dick. So they're not looking at you. They're not paying no attention to you. They don't give a fuck about you. You just a hole for them to get their rocks off in. So understand that if you got a guy, as soon as you get in bed with him, he wants to do doggy style. He want to do some shit where he's not looking at your face. There's no intimacy in that sexual act right there. What you really need to do is get up, tell him to get his shit and get the fuck out. Because he's not trying to, like make love to you. He's just fucking. Okay, and there's a difference. There's a big difference. And you guys, be thinking that all this shit is like, he flipping you in all these different positions, and you thinking that that's all grand and wonderful. I keep asking women, what do you get out of that? Being treated like a circus performer. Your legs pushed all back and shit, your hamstrings stretch, your legs getting cramped, some shit. It's not comfortable. So why do you tolerate that? And the dudes were like, I will push her leg. Because you push my legs back, I'm going to stomp you, kick your ass in the face with my foot. You're not going to do that to me. That's not how my body is meant to be shaped. Okay, that's not normal. And you don't need to do all that. It's like that doesn't even deliver like the pleasure for the woman anyway. That's just some shit they saw in these porn movies and they just want to reproduce it. It's like, real men need to understand how they need to read books and really like study women's female anatomy and stuff. And then they could learn something. They could be better in bed. Some woman might want to screw them. But you sit around talking about how you entitled and somebody ought to give you some. Why? Why is she going to be, what's in it for her for them 33 seconds that you last? Nobody's trying to be bothered with you. You pop in, you start grunting and groaning and stuff, and then 33 seconds later, the shit's over, and you breathing heavy, talking about how great it was, and she's sitting there looking at the ceiling saying, where's the great part? Where is that at? Because y'all don't know what the fuck you doing. Girl, I'm just telling you. I'm just saying they do not want me to talk about it, because I've thrown many men out of my bed. It's like, you don't know what the fuck you doing. Get out. Well, nobody else complained. I said, well, I'm not one of them dumb bitches. So if that work for you, you need to go find her and then make that happen over there. I'm flexible, but I don't like it, Ty. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessary it doesn't increase my pleasure. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's not my hamstrings are very flexible. I can put my head damn near to the floor, but that's not the point. The point is that doesn't do anything for the pleasure center. It's not increasing it. It's not improving it. It's not making me hit no O's to do that. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if that's not helping, then I'm not going to do it. If it's not beneficial to me, then I'm not going to do it. And so men want to think that, they just do all of that because that's what their friends do. And they talk about that in the rap records and all the stuff. And so they think that's what, they need to do to make it exciting. And it's like, what makes it exciting for women? When you talk to her, when you tell her how much you feel about her, how you feel about her, and when you make her hit O's. Okay. That's what makes this shit exciting. All this flipping around and all that shit. I don't want to do all that. If I want to do all that, my ass would be in Barnum and Bailey Circus. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't do anything. That's when they look at the most, when they get dismayed, when they see these things where, these surveys and stuff where most women talk about how, they've never had an O when they've been in bed with a man. And, the guys, well, my women have to say, no, them bitches faked. Okay, they faked because you don't know what the fuck you doing. Just admit it. Go to the library and get some books. Read on female anatomy and learn something. Okay, you listening to people and watching porno movies and listen to your ignorant ass friends who can't fuck either. And it's like, when dudes have to get a lot of different women and no woman wants to call you back for a repeat performance, that's your clue that you wasn't doing shit right. She might give you 2 or 3 chances because, like I said, it takes that long, 3 times or so before you guys get really in sync. But if by that third time, or if your first 2 times was so fucking whack, she knows there's no hope for you, there's no point, then she's gonna cut you off, and that's just gonna be it. And you're gonna be trying to see like, well, I don't know what happened. She never called me back. She don't even return your text. She don't want shit to do with you. She blocked your number. All this shit. That means your dick game is whack ass. That's what that means. And yeah, but women won't tell them. They don't want to tell the guy. They just tell him, that they're not interested or they don't want a relationship right now. That's code for you can't fuck. That's what that means. But they'll never tell him that. But I will tell you. I will tell you because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I mean, I could be married to you, and if you fuck me stupid, I'm gonna tell you your shit was whack. I don't care. But it's like, you want to have a woman, and you want to keep your woman, and you want your woman to be faithful to you and all that stuff, then you better figure out some way to sexually satisfy her. And you got this shit lasting, less than a minute and stuff, and you thinking that that's supposed to be something that she's supposed to be, faithful to. Why? How is that helping her? That's making you feel good, but that ain't doing shit for her. Understand what time it is. If she stays with you and that's how you fuck her, she's just doing it strictly out of love, trust. But I can't love somebody like that. That would never work out. I can't love you. We could be friends. But I need the whole package. Well, they probably would, but the problem with that advice, Turtle? I'll tell you what the problem is that, because I tried to get that going. I wasn't going to be the instructor, though. There's a woman I know who's a sex educator. The problem is that men would have to put their egos aside and accept that they don't know how to fuck. They would have to accept that. And, for a dude to do that, and, since their whole world is tied up in that little few inches of flesh, that would be devastating to him. He would not be able to do that. So that is the problem there. That's the only issue. Yeah, I don't have time to fake. Because, if you fake it, then they're going to be like thinking that what they did is right, ladies. You can't do that. I know a lot of women think, well, I have to save his ego and stuff. I guess sometimes they do it because they just want the shit to be over because it's so boring and so tired. They like, oh, the only way to make him stop is act like, I'm like, he had this monster orgasm. So they get to flipping their hair and grabbing the sheets and doing all this extra stuff and putting on a performance worthy of an Oscar. And the dudes buy it because they think that, it's they prefer that jackhammer shit because that's what they see in porno movies. I'm telling you. And they keep forgetting that's like those women are getting paid to be treated like that, and all their shit is numbed up with medication. A real woman's body that's not a little fast at the end to get her on over the top, but you first second you putting it in, you flip her over, and what are you doing? Those are delicate tissues there. Her cervix, her womb. I mean, what are you doing? It's just so disrespectful. That's what I say. They try to do some shit like that. You know, you ladies should bounce their ass up out of there. It's like, I'm not a toy. You're not gonna treat me like that. Y'all be taking too much. Yeah, they don't want to take the time to listen and learn because they think they know every damn thing. You practice your scream. So then, what's her name? When Harry met Sally, Meg Ryan in that cafe scene, that shit was funny. That was funny. She did that so well. Yeah, she really pulled that stunt off. I got to give my girl props for that. But that's probably enough of all this. I shouldn't go overboard since I am still on the recovery tip. But at least I feel good. I feel much better. I can breathe to better today. Yeah, they don't listen, and then you fire them, and then they want to have an attitude. Like, oh, none of my other women. That's the number one complaint. That's the number one thing I hear. They get defensive. But none of my other women complain. I gives no fucks what that dumb bitch did. I mean, everybody ain't me. I'm telling you what I like. Now, you going to be in the bed with me, then, motherfucker, you need to pay attention to what I like. Now, if you want to be paying attention to what she likes, then you need to get your ass up and go on over there. That's what you need to do. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But as long as you're going to be in the bed with me, then, motherfucker, you need to please me. Now, you ain't doing that. That's what I'm telling you. Exactly. He spit on you? Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know where that shit came from. Yeah. I mean, it's like, if a guy is a real lover, I mean, he can make all that start happening with just some kisses. You know what I mean? If he really knows his shit. But then most of them, they don't know nothing. Nobody tells them nothing. They don't want to read. They don't want to learn nothing. And the woman's trying to tell him what she likes, and he don't want to hear it. So it's like, well, you just want to be losers then. That's all I can deduce from that. You know, they want to be losers. Because the guy, that's how the dudes who are winners, they listen to women. They listen, and they give the lady what the lady wants. And, they please their partner. So I don't know what else to say, but we'll be back. Let's see. Yeah, that spitting is nasty and disgusting. Gross. We'll be back on Tuesday to do the what the fuck Tuesday thing. So I'm typing this in here. If you want to submit your advice questions, submit them there. Get advice at the top of the YouTube channel, or use the link in each show description. It will take you to the advice form. If you have an idea for Debuary, that's my 28 days of video a day for February that's coming up. So I'm desperate for some ideas. Oh my God. You submit those by email. I'm typing it in here. Okay, do not submit advice by email. It will be deleted. Do not post advice questions on the wall. They will be deleted. That's not the proper way to do it. You have to do go through the submission form process. There's a legal release on that form that you have to click. That gives me the right to reproduce the question, to edit it, and to put it on, to air it on the show. Okay, if without that, I'm not putting myself at risk for you. Okay, I love all y'all and stuff, but I don't love you that much. So you do the shit right, and then I can answer your question. Now the only other option we have is sometimes I do the questions live on the air, but everybody knows by you typing your question here that indicates that you have given that permission, because otherwise you wouldn't have typed it on here, right? So that's the only time, and then I put that little release in the show description, so everybody's aware of what's going on. But in general, use the advice submission process as I request, and then we won't have any problems, and everything will be gravy. So we'll be back on Tuesday with What the Fuck Tuesday advice questions. Submit your question right now or as soon as you can if you want to get it in for Tuesday's show. Submit your advice questions as stated at survivingdating@gmail.com or any other comments you want to make about the channel. Please share a link or two this week and try to get some subscribers amongst your friends. We want to get to 15,000 as soon as possible. You guys go out and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.